Car sales, 7 ways to close a sale. Welcome back to the channel, you guys, and if it's your first time, make sure to subscribe. I won't let you down. So a lot of salesmen out there, the payment might be too high. They try to bump them. If they can't, they let the client go. That's why I'm making this video on 7 ways on how to close a sale. This way you can give different options, know how to explain it, and why they should choose this option. When you have different ways to sell somebody, your chances of selling the car goes way up. Way number 1, switch them to a lease. Okay, so if the client has a car and they're upside down in it, let's say they're financing it, they're a couple $1,000s upside down. You can use their car as an example. Now, if they don't and you lease a car, then you want to use your car as an example. Or if you're upside down in your car, use you as an example. So let's say somebody comes in and they're $2,000 upside down. And then now you show them a car and the payment's too high. So what you want to do is you want to switch them to a lease and you go, well, have you heard about leasing? Like, would you consider leasing? Oh, no, I don't want to lease. It's like renting the car. Well, you seem like a smart guy and, obviously cars depreciate. So it's not like an investment, something that you can put your money into and it's going to grow. That being said, like, imagine if you would have leased your car when you first got it, like the one you drove here. You probably would have paid $100 less for 36 payments. And then at the end of the lease, you wouldn't have any negative equity. So $100 less every single month for 36 months, that's $3,600. And then you wouldn't have been $2,000 upside down. So that's $5,600 you would have saved. And take in mind, you have to have good credit like yourself to lease. That's why there's a lot of benefits. Like every lease includes gap. So, when you finance a car and you go and finance and you buy some gap insurance and stuff like that, well, a lease already includes that. Now, it's very important how you say things. Also, keep emotions high, get them excited. You want them to like you. That's why I say things like good credit like yourself. That's why there's a lot of benefits. Oh, I guess he's right. You have to have good credit to lease. There must be some benefits. Refinance close. So you get a client in, he likes a car, but he can't get it. His credit is just not good enough to get that big of a loan. So what you want to do is you want to switch him to a new car, of course. But how you're going to do that, because I just had this happen. My cousin started selling cars and he said I couldn't switch him. He wanted that car. So what you're going to say to him is just because of your credit, you do have to build it up a little bit. So you can do that pretty quickly. You don't have to have perfect credit, but as long as you have good car credit is what they call it. It's just showing that, the past 6 payments were on time, 8 payments. So can you drive this car for 8 to 10 payments? Now, obviously, I know you want the car very bad, so after 6 payments, we can try, but are you okay driving this car for 8 to 10 payments just to get your credit score up, and then we'll send a check in, get that car paid off, and get you started on the one that you want. That way you have a newer car, but take in mind you're not just paying for a car, you're paying for credit. Even if I did get you into this car today, the one that you wanted, your interest rate is going to be very high. So if we did get you approved, the payment's going to be really high. Even if you can pay it, you don't want to pay that much interest. So get with this car, build up your credit, 8 to 10 payments, but we're going to try after 6. And then that way, when you do get approved for the new car, your interest rate's going to be way lower and you're going to have a comfortable payment. Number 3, refinancing the car without telling them their interest rate's going to go down. So obviously you guys know one of the things you can do is say, hey, make your payments on time for 6 to 8 payments, and then you can refinance, get a lower interest rate, and drop your payment. What I like to say is, let's say somebody walks in, they find a car they like, and it's 0 down, $500 a month. They want to be at $400 a month. I would say something like, with no money down, financing the whole car, your taxes, your tag, your payment's usually a little bit higher. But what most of my customers like to do is they'll make 10 payments. So in this case, $500 for 10 payments, that's $5,000 that you paid off the car. So that being said, when you go to refinance, even if your interest rate doesn't lower, which it should go down a little bit, but even if it doesn't, because I can't guarantee that, I can guarantee your payoff goes down. So let's say it's down, after 10 payments, $5,000, right? That comes out to $100 a month. So when you go to refinance, you're automatically going to be $100 less a month. Now, obviously, guys, I know there's a little bit of interest in stuff. They might not pay off 5,000, it might be 4,500, whatever, but you get the point. Make sure to hit that like button. It helps promote my channel. I appreciate it so much. Tip number 4. So after explaining after 10 payments you can refinance and your payoff's going to be $5,000 less, I give them a close like, so you'll be able to make 10 payments, right? Number 4, flip them to a pre-owned car. Let's say you need to flip somebody to a cheaper car. This is how you're going to do it. Okay, so have you ever heard of leasing? Yeah, I've heard of leasing. Okay, I'm not trying to get you to lease, but as a car salesman, I get to see the residual value at the end of a lease. So after 3 years and only 36,000 miles, it's still a pretty new car, the lease gets brought in. And the residual value is what the car's worth at the end of the lease. Now, what the car's worth is around 48 to 50%. That being said, with only 36,000 miles and being 3 years old, it's lost over 50% or right around 50% of its value. Now, obviously, that other 50%, that goes forever. You hold on to that, you can drive the car for another 10 plus years. So that's why buying a car that's 3 years old is perfect. It's still new enough and low miles that you get a great interest rate like a new car. It still has warranty and you save a bunch of money. So would you consider taking a look at a 2016? I just took one in and it's in really good condition. I think it might even have more features. Something along the lines of that, guys. Number 5, finance close. This is my favorite close I think I have. So finance close is pretty much somebody's beating you up over price. Maybe you don't want to give up gross. I do this all the time. I'll give you a quick story about that too. But what I do is pretty much explain why I picked the dealership. One of the reasons why I picked this dealership is we have a really good finance team. But a few percent of interest comes out to thousands of dollars on the back end. So I won't be able to save you any money here, but I'll make sure to take care of you on the back end. What that does, guys, is just gives them a reason to sign. Okay, I'm still gonna save money on the back end. All you need to do is give them a reason to sign. So one time I had this guy, it's a $6,000 deal, front end gross for me. I get 35% of this, you guys. So a lot of money, like $2,000. He said he wants more for his trade. He gives me a bunch of different objections. One of the reasons why I picked this dealership is we have a great finance team. So I won't be able to save you any more money here, but I'll make sure to take care of you on the back end. Sound good? And if they like you through the whole process, then they're just gonna be like, okay, yeah, sounds good. Great, let me just get a signature here and I'll bring in a detail and hand them the pen. Number 6, insurance close. So this is a very strong close. This is when payment's too high for your client and you ask them how much their insurance is and they're like, oh, it's a lot, or it's gonna go up, I already checked. Now you can bring a lot of value to their life if you learn how to do this. So I had a lot of brokers that would give me really good insurance quotes, and I did thousands and thousands of people I would sign up and give quotes to. Just to sell more cars. If their payment goes up 150, 200 bucks, if I drop their insurance, they're good. So how I would do this is, let's say I have a married couple, right? And this married couple comes in, I'd ask which one has a better driving record. I would take both cars, I'd put it under that person's name, usually the wife, and then I would put the husband as an additional driver. That way the insurance drops a whole bunch. Put the deductibles to 1,000. Certain things like property damage, you can put 50,000 to 10,000. That's like, hitting a stop sign or messing up some property. So that's how I explain it. But you obviously are giving them full coverage, so it's still great coverage. If they total the car, they just have to pay $1,000, but it gets fixed. Another thing is permissive driving. So I had somebody come in with their grandpa, and the grandpa bought the car. He got insurance on the car, but the grandson was going to drive it most of the time. That being said, they didn't live together. So when the grandpa went to go call the grandson's mom, she was like, no, insurance is going to be way too high. I don't care if you're taking care of the car payment. I can't do it right now. I got on the phone and I said, hey, it's going to be under the grandpa's name. And since your son doesn't live with grandpa, he doesn't need insurance. All he needs is a valid license. It's called permissive driving. So as long as the car's not registered at your house, he can drive it with no insurance, and it's covered under permissive driving under grandpa's policy. Just knowing that got me a 3-pound deal that day, which means 3,000 front end gross. See, the more you know, the easier the business is. And that's where I'm trying to get you guys. If you want any one-on-one training, you have questions, I do training, just email me, tonyswedberg@yahoo.com. And the best part about it, guys, is right after that, hey, what happened with insurance? Like, I would do this on TOs, and I'd be like, oh, it's they don't need insurance. Just get the grandpa's insurance. He's separate than the son. And I told the mom it's under permissive driving. So if the son gets into an accident, it's covered under permissive driving under grandpa's insurance. And he's like, how do you even know this? Like, so it is very impressive when you know a lot of things. It's gonna make you feel good. You're gonna get promoted quicker. Your managers are gonna be like, whoa, this guy knows what he's doing. And it's not easy to get good, but once you do get good, it's easy. Number 7, the money close. So let's say you get somebody in. This works really well with someone like this. So somebody comes in, they don't have any money to their name, they're pretty broke, and they're coming in to get a car. So this happens all the time. It's not smart to finance a $20,000 car when you don't have any money in the bank, but every day people do it. So this is the money close, guys. Number 7, the money close, best for last. A lot of salesmen don't know this. So yeah, make sure to hit that like button if you like this one. So guys, listen. The money close is when somebody puts 0 down, they finance the car, and the payment's way too high. I can't pay that, right? So instead of like trying to lower the payment $20 and keep knocking, $20 on a loan is $1,000 off the car. That's just how it works. So instead of doing that, you can actually take those rebates, which rebates are actually something that's supposed to be cut back to you. Like if you ever buy something, they say, oh, you get this kind of rebate, and that's money back to you. A lot of car salesmen don't know this, but you can cut the customer a check back for $1,000, $2,000, whatever the rebates are. So if you have $5,000 in rebates, you can cut them a check for that back. So don't you think it's stronger to be like, hey, what if I was able to do 0 down, and then I was also able to keep you around the same payment, but I cut you a check back for $1,000? Doesn't that sound a lot stronger? And he's gonna want that a lot more than, what if I can take $20 off the payment? Nah, man, I'm way off. You know, what if I gave you $1,000? That's your first 2 payments. So you don't have one for 45 days, a month and a half, and then your next 2, I cut you a check back for $1,000, so you don't have to worry about those either. And always end, you guys, with something like, so if I was able to cut you a check back, then you'd take the car, right? All right, guys, that does it for the video. If you guys want another 7 closes, yes, I have another 7 different ways to close a sale. Then make sure to hit that thumbs up button and comment below. Let me know that you want it. Also, if you have any questions, let me know below. And guys, if you want that training, tonyswedberg@yahoo.com, face-to-face, me and you, back and forth, get all your questions answered and more.